Hey Chris, how's it going? We are going to attach her body finally, since everything is cleaned up. Alright, we got our glue, our Insta set, Magic Sculpt, and a rod. So this should be a good start. I'm going to mix up some extra Magic Sculpt. And we're going to do the trim around here because it'll be easier to do it Magic Sculpt, I think. Give it a shot. Oh shit, my friend just sent me a thing. VinceVell is coming back to Marvel Comics. This is awesome. Well, I'm freaking happy. VinceVell's coming back. It's about damn time. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good. This might be perfect timing because I just got myself VinceVell's first appearance, whatchamacallit, at a 9.8. Awesome. Maybe we'll get some good covers and stuff. Hey, what's up, Iceman? Hey, Hangerbird. Alright, it was kind of a crappy day with the weather and all that stuff, and now that that news broke, I'm happy. Oops. Awesome. Good news. Finally, bringing back some of the old characters. Ones that actually sold. What's up, Raz? Probably a good thing I bought up all the CGC books of him while I did. What's up, Scott? I've been doing the purge and collecting all the key stuff. So I did sell a couple more items, and I did pick up a couple more first appearance stuff. I got just the other day first appearance of VinceVell when he was in the new Captain Marvel and Avengers Forever #1. I finally got that book. Not bad. I am mixing up I'm sorry. I'm mixing up a Magic Sculpt, because Magic Sculpt is like a little bit tougher. So I'm going to use this to bond her body, and then I'm going to use it for the shin guard. This stuff is pretty old too. I've had this for a long time, so it's starting to get like really tough on me. I find that Magic Sculpt's a little bit stronger, but it's also kind of a pain in the ass to mix. A little bit on the tough side. But she's moving along pretty well. Moving along pretty fast. Hey Chris, how you been? Alright, so we have a rod, which is over here. Water, glue, that's the set. Yeah, for the Magic Sculpt I use water. I probably could use the safety solvent, but I never experimented. One day I will try. But most of the time I just use water. It doesn't seem to cause any issues. But there is some dust in here. I'm hanging in there. Been busy. I see you've been pretty busy too with all your stuff on Instagram. So I did put a rod here in her foot. I took out the key, and it turned out that the metal rod that was here actually went up her leg, and that was actually a good thing by Sideshow. And I didn't realize it. I thought they just put it here, but I did. I was able to cut it out, and I did put a rod up here. So this is at least a little bit of a square rod, a little bit more support. So I did get that going. Okay, let's see how this fits. I want to make sure whatever we put in here bonds pretty well. Well, won't be too crazy today. I really want to get this set up to the point where she's being ready for paint. This is just kind of still doing this little tedious stuff. Figure I can get the body attached today, finish up the shin guard, and then maybe by next stream we can start working on the belt. Figure out her flaps on her outfit too as well. Gonna use a lot of glue to keep this in too, and then we'll seam it up. But I did sand out her chest, and I did clean up the outfit, so it does look pretty good, as closest to the outfit as you can get. A little bit stylized with the armor kind of being bent in, because I know on the picture it seems like it's flat across, but I kind of like that better. Okay. So what we need to do is get situated here. I need to buy a better container for my Insta set. The other thing I had was caked up and they always spill on me. So I like to use that piece. And I think we're going to use the rest of this glue. So what I like to do is just squeeze all around the edge like this. You can see all that glue over there. Alright, let's get a little closer. Now, if you squeeze this much glue on an item while it's painted, you'll get a lot of cloudiness on it. So all these little grooves will help kind of just kind of squeeze this in. Okay, now we have a little bit of a squeezing out the edge here, so what we'll do is we'll squeeze this on, wipe that out, grab our Insta set, just don't even be shy about it, just get that in there. I'm pressing down too as I'm doing it. That's pretty much that. That'll bond up the glue is going to hold it for a while. And then once the magic sculpt pretty much like cures up, it'll hold it in pretty well. But we're gonna let the Insta set dry. Can wipe some of it off. It's not the end of the world. Dries up fairly fast. And then we'll mix up some Aves and we'll just kind of clean up the edging a little bit here. But you can see that's kind of how, because that's where the belt went. This stuff's like, it really bleeds down a lot, so you can kind of see it bled down in here into this cup. Alright, we're gonna let that set up, but let's throw the head on it. Looking pretty good so far. One thing too is whenever you squeeze that Instaset, be careful if it's on your fingers or be careful if it's like on the ground. If you put it your glue tube near it, the fumes actually start setting up your glue in the tube. That's one thing I've done a few times. Hey, what's up, John? What's up, Wells? Yes, John, thank you very much for the news. That's awesome. I was just saying before in chat that it's probably a good thing I bought up those VinceVell books while I did. And now that I got all his key books and first appearance stuff, I don't have to worry about it going up if he makes a comeback. So I guess he did come back in the Captain Marvel books with Carol Danvers. I'm going to have to make sure I get those issues where he came back. Yeah, this statue's come along pretty well. So what we could do is, one thing we can do now, man, the static electricity is crazy. So we'll put the axe in our hand. Okay. Alright, so let's mark where we want to put the axe and we'll cut it now. So I'm thinking, it's kind of a broad axe, it's not long, so I'm thinking maybe we keep her hand as close up as high as possible to the axe and maybe go right about here. So I'm thinking if her main handle would be something like right there. Thinking like that. Because it would be weird if she's kind of holding it here. So I think we'll go that far with it. That should work. Yeah, Iceman, sorry to hear about that. Not really into the whole politics stuff, so just stay safe out there. That's all I could say. Well, with the politics stuff on YouTube, that is. Well, you should be doing that anyway, Iceman. That's just the way it should be, period. Alright, so her axe. So if you ever do pipe work, you know, for plumbing, there's this little K&S rod thing. Same thing. I can open it up. So instead of trying to saw this off or clamp it, kind of go across. So I think what I'm going to have to do is build this in her hand, and it's going to be permanent in her hand, not removable. There you go. So this way you don't ruin your pipe. Let's go back to her hand. So you can kind of see it's a little bit as far as weight. So I think I'm going to have to set up a better system or a stronger magnet. It wasn't meant for holding an axe. So I'm going to have to figure that out. I think I might just do the rod. Just put a rod in here, and then Dremel a hole in there, so this way it kind of goes into the rod with a magnet and it'll stay better. So I'm going to do that. Like I've done for a lot of my other stuff, so I'll probably do it during the week while I'm working on other stuff. So I'm thinking her axe be like that. Alright, so I got to clean this up. So I think when I'm done too is when her once it's attached to her hand, because I got to make spot for putting the rope around her hand too. I'm going to add a like a little piece here, and then we'll add like a piece here, you know. And then what I'll do is I'll put some maybe some rope around there. So that's kind of like where she would hold it like this, but she just has it here for now. But we'll put another piece up here as well, sort of like there. So I think that's kind of like the axe. Even though her axe is a little bit different in the picture, it's still kind of the similar idea. Yeah, I think that'll work. Like I figure what we'll do is we'll put like black rope around there. You know, we'll just like put a little dabs of glue and we'll wrap rope around it. I think that should look pretty cool. So what I'll have to do too is I'm going to try to get a little bit more of a gap here and a little bit more of a gap there. So when I put the rope around it, I can at least wrap it around once or twice, like kind of slide it in. And then this way we'll have the rope go to the other hand. But I'll clean up the axe a little bit more. Maybe what I could do is pour some resin in here too, just to toughen this up, just in case like this ever fell down at some point, or somebody like, you know, grabbed it from here by accident. It doesn't like warp and bend on you. So it'd be kind of good to fill this in. I could probably just fill it in now, actually. We could try to do that, might as well. Let's see. It's not like this magic sculpt's gonna make any of a difference anyway. Since I'm gonna put the rod in her hand anyway, might as well. And I think her axe has a piece that's like up here, like a flat piece like that. So we'll add that later too. Plus I gotta add the symbols to her as well. So I think what we'll do is by next stream, if I get the axe cleaned up, I'll print it out and maybe we'll have a template. So see how that works out. And we'll just leave a little bit of a hole here so when I put the bottom piece in it, it bonds. So that's so there'll be some nice thickening up of there. Alright. So what I really want to focus on is the knee guard. So last week you can see this came out pretty well. So I want to do the edging now. So I'm thinking Magic Sculpt will be a little bit easier to sort of do what I have in my head. Now let's hope it works. Alright, so you guys working on anything today? Seems like the sun came out today finally. A little too late though. It's crazy this morning. That's good. At least you got something going on. Yeah, it was weird. What was it? 2 days ago, it was like 72 degrees here. I was outside in the garage. I was chopping stuff, sanding, doing all kinds of stuff. And then later at night, it dropped down to like 35. Hey there, Yuna. How's it going? Yeah, weather's been weird lately. I was expecting, you know, start getting warmer, but it's getting cooler. I don't know. End of the world weather. Yeah, I can't wait till it gets back to this warm weather. So I think what I'm going to do is create a flat shape in the inside, and then I'll shape it down with sandpaper later. So it's going to be a little tricky. We need a better, flatter surface. Oops, kind of cut it off there. Also might have to just sandpaper it too. There's no good skiing? I mean, I used to hear on the radio sometimes on Sundays that they would have good skiing in the areas here. I don't know, they would always say fresh snow. I'm not a skier, so I have no clue. Yeah, I figured as much. Yeah, this is gonna look weird until I sand it down. Oh, also guys, Iceman was kind enough to fix the Flash statue for me. That's his ArtStation page. Go check it out. He took Flash for Giganta and tweaked the head and gave him a hot dog. So I'm in talks with my friend now about getting it set up and printed. We're gonna do some measurements. So that should turn out pretty cool once it's done. Yeah, I think it's gonna look pretty funny with him staring up at her skirt. It should be a fun thing. I just gotta get it printed out. Gotta get the scale correct first. I don't want to print out like 20 of them. So we're gonna try to hopefully get that going. One of the reasons I did Magic Sculpt 2 is because the residue that you see there, that's just kind of like very watery Magic Sculpt, and it won't cake up like A's will with the solvent. But I think I could shape a nice good flat surface with some sandpaper later. Damn, Better John got me fiending now to see what this Captain Marvel book is going to be like. I guess since Peter David's writing it, it's going to be awesome. I wonder if those comic sites are going to have it in like 50 covers. It's kind of like the thing now. Alright, so you just kind of see from the side, sort of starting to create something. So I think if I could go nice and slow with the sandpaper inside, get a smooth surface outside, and then angle it on that side, and then flatten it up top, I'll create like a armor shape. That's the idea. Hopefully we'll be able to pull it off. I want to make sure I create a divot for the sandpaper so I don't go too into it too far. And I might have to build up some sections if I screw up, but we'll get it shaped. I'm going to order some resin and some mold when we're ready to do this. I don't want to order it just yet, and we're going to make a copy, so we'll do that on stream. We'll pour out the mold, set up a mold, and we'll do it all to, you know, on the Friday stream. Hopefully it'll be a little bit warmer too. Hey, what's up, Jacob? Quiet week. Getting stuff done. Crazy weather. Other than that, that's it. How's your week been? Some more garage work than anything, so I didn't really have a chance to do too much of the Picardo stuff. Once I start painting up kits, I'll probably be Picardoing all damn day long. Yeah, I actually wanted just to take a drive out to the Smooth On store to pick up the stuff. I gotta figure out if it's worth taking a trip out there or just ordering it, because sometimes with gas and tolls now it might just be cheaper. But I'll probably just end up ordering it. I just like to take a trip out to the store. One of those situations, Raz, where it's something you want, you just guy's not responding. I probably do that to a lot of people who email me. I just don't sit by the email all day, so I don't email back right away. Damn, the wind outside is nuts today. Alright, I think that is good enough for what I'm trying to do. So what I'll do is I'll have some sandpaper during the week, and what I'll do is I'll sand inside and get a flat surface, and then I'll grind out outside, and then I'll sand flat up top. So maybe I can create a flat surface here, a flat surface here, and then a flat up top. So it kind of creates something going around. See how well it works out. It's a little off here and it's a little off here, but I'll shape it. So I think that'll work. That should work. Alright, we're going to seam up the body now. The glue should be cured up pretty well. But at least get something going on it. Don't need to mix too much. I mean, the glue will hold it, but it won't hold it to be like if you manhandle the statue. The glue still can kind of come out. But between the magic sculpt, the Aves, and the glue, once it's all cured up, it's not going anywhere. Unless you drop kick her outside somewhere, which we're not going to do. I'm not Jacob, I'm just have her sitting on it for right now. I already broke the flames on it, so the base is messed up anyway. Once I get the new base set up, I'm just gonna put this one on eBay and get rid of it. But I just wanted to hold her up for the for putting her body together. It's easier that way than trying to sit there and whatchamacallit, set it up with her laying on the ground or something. It's a placeholder, that's kind of what it is. And I think once we get the belt going, I'll do something in here on her back. But right now we're just going to take some some Aves, kind of get the seam situated. I do that a lot with the statues. The original base I'll use as a placeholder just to hold it up until we're ready to... See, I already tried to... almost broke the flames again. Let's make life a little easier. Now, even though I'm throwing Aves in here right now to do the belt, this part's probably going to get chopped out for that flaps that are on underneath the belt. But I'd rather have it secured now than try to work around it. Now, the way stomachs go, it's a little bit of a, you know, like if you look on the side of a woman, it kind of goes in the belly button, it comes out around the stomach part. So that's what's kind of missing. So we're just going to fill that up. So kind of, if you could kind of see from that angle, it's kind of comes, belly button goes in, and then underneath the belly button comes out, and it goes down to the crotch area. So that's kind of what they took out for the belt. Like I said, this will all get hidden anyway, but I like to get it right now for practice and everything else. I'll sand that down. If I can finish editing the video, I'm going to put up my next work in progress series on YouTube. Kind of been working on a character here and there. Just didn't have a chance to finish the first video yet. See if I can get it up on Sunday. Alright, so definitely by next week I'll have that sanded down. We could try to start doing the belt. Let me wash my hands real quick. Okay, so on her outfit, we have to bring this point here, to these points, so we're going to stylize that a bit. I need a new pencil. And then she's got that, we have to, yeah, then it comes over to the side. And it comes, we have to do like this white part here. And we'll have to figure that out. Yeah, it's going to be a little tricky. So, once we get onto the three things that go underneath there, I might make a template with this. So what I might do is we might do something where this gets bent in, and then it, you know, we create a pattern type thing, and then we kind of bend this metal to where we want it to go, and then we can lay A's or something on top of it and kind of create. I'm going to try to make it thinner this time, because the last time I did it with that other one I made it thick because it's one of the first times I was doing it. So I'm going to try to make it a little bit thinner. I think it'll work if we go this route. And then she's got the 3 prongs on the back, so we'll do the same thing. Now I think if you look at the action figure, I don't know if this was an actual official figure or if it was a custom. So we can bring the 3 prongs like to just above here. We could go a little shorter, or we could go longer. I'm thinking maybe a little bit shorter, this one, just for the hell of it. Maybe bring them to about right here instead of here. So, you know, maybe like one will come like right like here or something. The other one's kind of comes here. The other thing though is we got to follow the hair. That's the other thing I just realized. Alright, so if our hair is flowing that way, it's gonna have to, I don't know, maybe we can make it kind of come up a bit. We'll have the back flap more off the booty a bit. We'll have it come flying up so we'll see the booty. So I'm thinking maybe we'll have the flaps come up high so we can at least get a nice little picture of that booty on her. So we'll have, so the hair's coming this way, so we'll have these flaps come up as well. So what we'll do is we'll try to create something where they kind of get stuck in, maybe with a magnet or a rod or something. Not really sure yet. But with this one, maybe kind of curl them up a bit, like a little kind of curled up. So instead of on her leg, I don't want to bend up this piece. So instead of that, we'll kind of maybe flop up like this. Maybe something like that. I got the idea in my head, it's a matter of pulling it off. Basically we gotta get the belt done first. Once the belt's done, then we can start planning out like how it's gonna get in there. It's either try to make it with a magnet or try to make it where it just gets glued in at the end, you know? And then as long as it's got a good armature in there and it's not, and you packed it well for shipping, it should be fine. I would love everything to be magnetized, but sometimes it just looks like shit. So I don't want to go too short on it. But I'm thinking if we can flap them, it'll look a little better. Yeah, see, I would do something right now, but because I just attached the body, no, my luck, I'll hit it the wrong way and then everything will come right apart. So we'll kind of just like leave it alone. But the chest area came out pretty well. I know it's not exactly like the art, but I kind of like the way it came out. I think my way I did it shows a little bit more cleavage, whereas the artwork seems to have it up higher. Like more up here, but I kind of like it down there. I think it works. Oh, the metal? Oh, this stuff cuts with like scissors. This stuff is real thin, you know. This it's just to get an armature. But yeah, just regular scissors kind of cuts it, no issue. See, cuts right off. The only problem with this shit though is you'll slice your finger if you're not careful. Now the thicker metal stuff, you can't use scissors. This is just aluminum basically. It's an aluminum sheet, like a soda can. You know, it's just flat. It's a little thicker than the soda can, but it's not steel. So if you put it in your magnet, you know, it's aluminum. It's a good way of creating something that's gonna make it a little bit more durable. The way we did it with the axe. So we're gonna leave the bracelets as is, but we're gonna paint them all the metallic, whatever. We're gonna paint all her in steel, so it's gonna look like a worn out steel type look with the Spaztec. So I think the bracelets are fine. We don't have to make it exactly like the artwork, you know. We're gonna paint her metal in Spaztec. But when you paint chrome Spaztec and then you gloss coat it with their clear gloss, it kind of makes it more of a deep steel, more than like mirror chrome. And then what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is probably maybe do a little bit of washing on it to make the metal kind of worn out a little bit, like dirty. So it's gonna be like a deep steel, but a little bit dirty. The metal parts that are going to be on her is going to be her bracelets, her chest, her belt, and the headgear, and the stuff around the knee pads. Everything else is going to be like whitish, leatherish whitish or something like that. I don't want to put too much chrome or metallics all over her body. So it's just going to be the axe, the bracelets, headgear, chest, waist, and legs. We're going to do like a leathery paint up on her black outfit. Same thing with the boots. And kind of just do some stuff like that. Yeah, I can do alclad chrome on this because alclad chrome on smaller areas okay, but I don't want that mirror chrome. I don't want that shiny. I want it to look like metal, but I want it to be like steel, like polished steel almost, kind of like dull down steel. If you go on my YouTube channel, the Colossus that I painted up for somebody, I did that all in Spaztec Chrome, and then when I gloss coated it, it gave it like the Colossus color from the movie with Deadpool. That's kind of what I want to go for. I want to go with that deep steel look to her because I don't want her being, she's a Black Lantern. I don't want her to be shiny. I want her to be like, we're going for that death look to her. She's gonna be in like the modding paint. I want leather black on her, and I want that deep steel for the metal. Yeah, Spaztec you can do it through the rattle can, and you can do it through the airbrush. Um, I'm probably gonna do it through the airbrush and then use the rattle can to seal it. There's also whatchamacallit. I might, you know, I could also go this route. This is the AK Interactive stuff. So the AK Interactive has a has chrome, and then they have like gunmetal. Now I used this on a I repaired the He-Man sword for somebody because all the paint was coming off. So if you spray this on a flat, smooth surface, you get this like gunmetal look. And then if you gloss coat it with the Spaztec gloss coat, it gives it a really cool like gloss. But I want to use Spaztec on this one though. I'm not going to paint the skirt metal. Her skirt is going to look like the black leather with the white trim. So we're going to have the black leather with browns in it, and then these flaps of the skirts are going to be like leather flaps too. So it's going to be like leathery black on it. So I think with like the leather, the dulled down like chrome, and her skin tone with the modding, I think it'll look cool, like a really cool death statue. Like Black Lantern death type thing. And then for the axe too, what I'll do is I'll probably break up some of the edging, and once I paint it, I'll add some scratches on there too, so it won't look like a nice pretty axe. It'll look like a really beat up type of an axe. I want to go more, I don't want her to be clean superhero look. I want to try to get closer to that like monster, almost like flat type of a look. So I think it'll work out okay. But I think for her necklace, though, it would look cool if it's a black choker instead of a silver. So I'll do like maybe black gunmetal on her choker. I think that'll be kind of cool. I'll have to look into the green stuff. I'd have to practice with the green stuff before I actually do it on the statue. This one I already had it planned out with Spaztec, so it should work out. Dario, yeah, these are items you pick up off of like Sideshow Collectibles on eBay, comic book stores. Sometimes I find them broken and cheap. Sometimes I buy them brand new. Sometimes people have sales on the site and they're looking to get rid of them. So yeah, it's mostly, people will either buy the item and send it to me to convert, or I'll do it on my own if I'm doing it to sell it off. But most of the time, people send me their item they have to convert. If I work with somebody out of the country, like guys that I know that are in like UK or Germany and stuff, what they'll do is they'll order an item and they'll have it sent to me instead of shipping it all the way from across the country. They'll find it on eBay and then they'll order it, but just have it sent to me. So that's for guys like out of the country. I do stuff like that for if they want a custom. Yeah, so I think a black choker on her would look cool. You know? I'm gonna try to stay away from adding too much, like, you know, metals and pearls and all that stuff on this one. I want to just try to keep the armor dulled and the rest of the outfit and everything just kind of dingy. I think that'll look cool. Yeah, so the hardest part now is going to be, well, two hardest parts. Getting the copy of the shin guard and then doing the flaps. Once we get the flaps done, we're pretty much ready to go, and we'll have to work on the base. So I did almost finish up sanding that base down. I think I did. Yeah, so I did a Bondo spackle on here. I just didn't sand this down. And then basically from there we'll figure out elements to do on the base. Now it did warp a little bit. It's kind of, you see it in the camera? It's sort of, this is a little bit thicker than this side, but maybe we can use that to our advantage where, you know, how I lay her on here. It's not the end of the world. I think what it was is it was on the cardboard. It wasn't flat on the floor, but it's not the end of the world. What I'll probably do for the metal is like I usually do with Alclad Chrome, is I'll probably prime it, primer sealer, gloss black, and then chrome on top of that. The gloss black enamel from the can, you know, from a Duplicolor, it's the only thing I can do to get it so damn smooth, like a nice candy coat. Trying to do it through an airbrush, it doesn't get as smooth. But if I can, like, I'll probably do the chrome first, because I always like to do chrome first. So if I could do the chrome here, I could do the chrome maybe on her mask after I do the face, because I could kind of sand it down. But usually with all this, I'll have this nice and smooth. I'll chrome this, chrome that, chrome the shin guards, chrome the bracelets, and then I could just mask this off and mask that off and then do the skin. It would be easier that way. I've tried doing like gloss coats of like black gloss paint on top of like with an airbrush, and I never can get it smooth. But if you do it through the Duplicolor rattle can, yeah, I could get it like super shiny. So yeah, so you know, you could do gloss black. Now, if I was gonna do Wonder Woman armor, like if I was gonna do like the brighter, you know, gold, I would actually gloss it in white. I would use the acrylic enamel gloss white. So you don't always have to use black. You can use gloss white if you want. And I always find that the gloss white and then putting the gold on top of that is not as dark. But when you have a black gloss on bottom, it gives it more of a darker steel. In reality, it doesn't really matter. If you do a nice good coat, you're never going to see the gloss anyway underneath. But sometimes I find that the white makes it look better. But with this one, we'll do the black, because if I go on it, the black showing through might help. Yeah, you can do clear coat too if you have a clear paint. Wait, you know what it is? If whatever paint you do, if you can get it super smooth and glossy and dried, it's going to work. If you can't get it smooth and glossy, then it's never going to look right. Like even these bracelets here, It's shiny, but you can tell if you feel it. It's got like a texture to it, so it's not whatever they did. The paint particles of the metallic didn't go smooth. But yeah, I'll probably definitely go with this route. But I do it in steps though. I don't sit here and do it like a primer, and then I do my sealer, and then I do my gloss, and then do my Alclad or my Spaztec all in 1 hour. I'll do it in days. Like one day I'll get it all nice and smooth, and I'll do the primer sealer. The next day I'll do the enamel, and I'll let this cure up for like 24 hours, and then I'll do all my Spaztec stuff, because I find that if your bottom layer is still not cured, and you're trying to force all these other paints on top of that, that bottom paint is never going to cure correctly. So you really should, you know, with these paints, give it like that 24 hours to cure, or 18 hours or whatever. But I do find that, so this is regular filler primer, right? If you try to do gloss paint on top of your primer, I find that the gloss, like, you know, the Duplicolor stuff, like, doesn't really cure correctly. But if you actually seal your primer, you know, like you seal this, it says that it improves gloss, and this will actually improve the gloss for when you do your gloss paint, because the gloss paint on regular primer sort of kind of reacts to it in a way, and it almost sometimes kind of creates like a rough surface. But if you seal it with primer sealer, your gloss paint will go on way smoother. So you should definitely invest in some primer sealer if you're using car paints like I do. Dario, you really, I'll turn on the other camera and show you, because I'm kind of letting the Aves dry anyway right now. So let me kick on this camera. And I'll show you some paints. Okay, so this is my paint arsenal here. I would suggest, if you're painting, if you want to get into the statues, stay away from those cheap paints at like Michael's. So Garage Kits, they make paints. Their paints are a little bit more chalky, but I do like them. You have to seal them up good. But a lot of paints I use are Vallejo airbrush ready paints, like these, you know. So you can buy these paints. They're good. They're expensive, but they're good. You can get golden fluid acrylics, but you have to thin them down. You can even use Liquitex paints out of the bottle, you know, these, but you have to thin them down as well. These are all acrylics. I don't use enamels or lacquers much. So there's also a lot of Citadel paints. These are expensive, but these are amazing. You can hand paint with them, and you can airbrush with them if you thin them down. And P3 Formula, they make some good paints. So I've been using a lot of these lately too. They're thick, but if you thin them down enough to go through an airbrush, they'll come out great. What else do I have? You can use Tamiya paints, but they're very got a lot of alcohol in them, and I really don't use them as much as I used to anymore. I kind of stopped using these. Even though you can thin them down, I still never really get a good flow off of them. So I kind of stayed away from these. Yeah, the game colors are good. I find that certain colors are don't go on too well. So you gotta kind of test certain colors. P3 Formula makes some good flesh washes. So they have like flesh wash. They're really cool if you want to do washes on stuff. They have like colors too. They have like red ink too as well. You know, and then there's Spaztec stuff, which is kind of more lacquers and stuff, but I use this with a certain airbrush. So I don't mix this with my acrylic airbrushes because you get it clogs everything up. Let's see. That's pretty much it. I mean, I really... You get Createx as well, but if you want to get good Createx stuff, get the Wicked colors. The Wicked colors, I find that they're better than the regular Createx. Like regular Createx is kind of your Michael stuff, but the Wicked colors is more of like professional. It's like better grade paint. So I would go into the Wicked color stuff. And then the varnishes, like if you want to do clear coat, but you don't want to go through an airbrush, the Mecha Varnish Matte and Satin, these are amazing. They will clog your airbrush though, so you got to be careful. They clog the tip of your airbrush. They don't clog the inside. So like if you're spraying and your paint's not coming out much, it's because it's clogging the very tip of it. The part that is in there, like that really tiny little part in there clogs. So sometimes I gotta twist this off, clean that up, and put it back on. Yeah, you can pretty much do whatever. Garage Kits has a lot of transparencies. I like their flesh tones. If you really want to save on paint, you can get like liquid, Liquitex basic stuff, and you can thin this stuff down. But this stuff takes a while to dry. You might want to hit it with a blow dryer. So say you're doing a really large base, like like a huge base of something. You can use this stuff as well. You just got to thin it down and like blow dry it and really cure it up. Like this stuff might take a little bit longer to dry, but once it dries, it'll be like really, really tough. Not, well, tough as acrylic can get. So yeah, that's kind of like all the stuff I use. I don't have a lot of paints because you really don't need a hell of a lot. Because if stuff I don't use will go bad on me. So Dario, if you're still in chat, hope that helps, that's pretty much, that's my whole arsenal right there. You could kind of see everything I have. So I just got some paints up there, and then I do it all by colors. I don't care about the brand. I just go by the color. And that's pretty much all I have. But every spring I go through them and I throw away a lot of stuff because a lot of this stuff is bad. I did test this stuff out. This, they told me at the One Jersey Fest, this scale what is it, the A1 or A5, whatever the hell the scale color stuff is. I really didn't like it very much at all. It really didn't spray through my airbrush too well, even when I thinned it down. And using the paintbrush, it was very gloppy. So I wasn't really a fan of the scale color. I did give them an try, but really didn't like what they were doing for me. I think other people that use it all the time do a better job. But for me, I didn't like the scale color too much. So that's pretty much it as far as colors go. I used to love the golden airbrush, the golden air opaque stuff, but they don't make these anymore. They make the high flow stuff, so the high flow is very, very watery. I used to love the opaque stuff, but they stopped that brand. Now I do mix colors. I'll mix garage kits with Vallejo with golden, Liquitex. I do mix them all together. Everybody says, you know, in hobby you shouldn't mix other brands, but they're all acrylics, and I've never had a problem mixing them. But if you put lacquers or the Tamiya colors in with your acrylics, then you get a problem. But acrylic with acrylic, I haven't had an issue. Yeah, so if you're in the other country and you can't get these paints, I would suggest trying to go for the Liquitex stuff. You know, you can use acrylic Liquitex through the tube, right? You can use this if you get it. You just have to thin it down. So basically, this stuff is like the thickest you can get, right? This is the thickest you can get. And then it goes to this stuff, which is a little bit thinner. But it's pretty much like, this is thick, this is thinner. And then they have a Liquitex soft body, which is like a little bit softer. And then they have, I think, a Liquitex that's thinner than that. So it doesn't matter what acrylic you use, it just matters if you can thin it down enough to go through the airbrush. You always want to get it into a milky consistency. You don't want it watery, but you don't want it thick like it's spraying globs out. You want to get it to, so you can use tubes if you can get them. You know, high quality paints are just as good in a tube, you just got to thin it down. Hey, Jay Prez. What I like to do is I do Friday streams on YouTube, but during the week I do Picardo streams when I'm at the desk. So it's Fridays. I try to do a stream every Friday on YouTube, but during the weekdays I try to do Picardo when I'm sitting at the desk working. So usually it's kind of up in the air. If I'm in the garage working, I definitely, I'm not streaming. I try to do videos whenever I finish stuff, but I got so many projects right now, a lot of the stuff isn't being finished just yet. I'm not like a YouTuber where I have to get a video up every other day or a video every week. I just get everything up when I can. Yeah, Dario, I think you'd be fine if you could get out there and get a couple Liquitex paints and stuff. You should be good. Try to stay away from really shitty like 50-cent dollar paints from Michael's or some shitty art store. I know people say that they love them and they're great, but I feel you get what you pay for if you're dropping like $1 or 50 cents a tube of paint, and it's like it's more for like woodworking type shit. I stay away from it. Alright, so I think we can finish off Giganta's piece. My airbrush that I use? My airbrush that I use is HPCH Iwata. You know, I use this because here and the cup, this one's dirty as hell. I gotta kind of clean this out. But this is my go-to brush for everything. If you're lucky, you can find it on sale on Amazon and stuff. I tend not to use any like retarders or any of that stuff. Oh yeah, I put up my pictures, my 2 new Power Girls. Couldn't find a frame that fit them perfect, but got them on the wall. No, Dario, that's fine. Ask away. That's what the stream's all about. Now you're talking about airbrushes or paintbrushes? Be a little bit more specific on that. As far as paintbrushes, like hand brushes, you get whatever you feel works good for you. But if you're talking about airbrush, Iwata, I don't know how the hell you say it, Iwata, or whatever. I love those brushes. As far as paintbrushes go, I don't know. I go to the hobby store and I just find stuff that's on sale. So whatever's on sale I pick up. There's Princeton, there's Cotman, whatever's on sale I get. And usually I'll buy a couple of each one and I'll just use them until they start splitting. They go fast on you, you know. Paintbrushes on a 3D item is not the same as painting on a flat surface. So when you're trying to paint in a crevice and you're trying to paint in here, your brush is getting all bent out of whack and they split on you. So try to buy stuff on sale so this way when they go to shit, you throw them away and then get a new one. Yeah, there's, you know, I mean, you know, all my old paintbrushes I use for sculpting go in here, you know. They go to shit on you fast, especially trying to do like facial features, and if you're trying to do like when I'm ready to paint, I want to do like a nice thin line going in with the hair. So when you start, you know, putting your paintbrush in this angle and you're bending it, it's not like you're painting on a flat surface, you know, like, you know, when you're painting on a flat surface, you're just going like that on a canvas. But with like statues, you got to try to get the paintbrush in here and you got to try to jam it in there and you just kind of bend it out of whack. So just get with whatever works for you and you can afford, and that's it. But don't be surprised if you're going to throw them away a lot. Yeah, my eye was let me hold on. Trying to get this camera. So I have my HPCH, this one. This is my go-to. I use it for almost everything. The reason why I like it is because you can adjust the flow here. Then I have my Iwata Revolution CR. This is kind of like the thicker one. This one usually you could find cheaper around $100. Then I have a Iwata CS. This one I use for all the Spaz Tech stuff. It gets clogged to all hell on me, so I'm always cleaning it. Then I have this one here, which is the HPTH. This is for like spraying really heavy shit. Getting a good, nice thick coat on something. And then I have a backup CH, just in case, because I found a cheat one day. And then I use this one for really like fine areas. This is the HP B. I forget. I can't even see it. I forget. Yeah, it's like B or something. Basically, it just doesn't have the nozzle and it's got a smaller cup. So I used to use Badgers when I first got into the hobby, and you know, I was like, oh, these Badgers are great, I love them, blah blah blah. But I was repairing them non-stop, the needles were going on me. And then one time at, I think it was Wonderfest, I tested a Iwata, and then I absolutely fell in love with it. Or it was a Jersey Fest, I think it was at Dave's house before he had an actual show. I fell in love with it, and ever since then I never went back. So my experience is for airbrushes, you get what you pay for. So if you want to cheap out on an airbrush, you're gonna have issues. Now, some people say Badgers are the best thing ever made. Some people say Iwatas. You know, it all depends on whatever the hell you like and what you get done. But I don't have them all. It's just what I collected over the years. One important thing is, if you're going to get into airbrushing, don't try and buy them all at once. Buy one, get used to it, perfect with it, you know, and then get another one. Build up your arsenal over time. You know, because you might buy 5 of them and then you might realize that you're only using the same one over and over and over. So it took a few years to get all those brushes. And I had more over time, but then I realized, the hell am I using, you know, I'm never using certain ones, and I stopped. Just got out of the habit. Yeah, there's some guys in the hobby that use oils. There's other guys that only do washes. There's some guys, you know, it all depends on what you do and whatever the end result is that you want. So there's no right or wrong way. Do whatever the hell makes you happy. There will be some people that are telling you you're doing it wrong, but it doesn't really matter. You know, there's some people who only do powder. You know, they'll do a powder coat and then they'll seal it, and we'll go there. No, I never got the Micron. I wanted to. Isn't the Micron like that $500 airbrush? I think that's the one. That was kind of like the next one on my list. But then I was like, you know what? I'm at this point. I'm doing fine with what I got. So I was like, I don't really need the Micron. No, not really too much into the paintbrush or washes stuff. I try to keep everything to the airbrush. I find the statue hobby is a little bit different than like the 2D hobby of all those artists. Like, you know, you see some artists out there, they do certain paintbrushes and techniques and it's accepted, but like in the statue hobby, like if you're not painting like this person, it's like the worst thing in the world. You know, it's like you have to paint this way for people. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I mess with my friend a lot about Nightcrawler and Beast. I don't think he likes that too much, but I do it anyway. There was a guy a long time ago, I think in the hobby. I think he retired. He used to do oil washes, like oil paint, and I wanted to pick his brain, but I remembered him telling me he doesn't do anything anymore. This was like back when I went to my first Wonderfest. It was like 2008, I think. I've always wanted to get oil paints, you know, oil paints for a canvas and do an oil painting on a statue. But my problem is, if you saw what I used to do with oil paints back in art school, I'm surprised I'm still alive from that shit. I actually airbrushed with oils, and like my whole apartment was just a cloud of vapor of turpentine. Wasn't really a smart move. It's the first time I was airbrushing, and I wanted to try to oil paint airbrushes, and well, that was a rookie mistake. Okay, so we got the bracelet done. I pushed it in a little bit more. I kind of like pushed it in so when it cures, it won't pop out. So I think she is... The figure is ready for paint. All I have to... Oh, see, I just broke that flame thing too. Don't care about that base. So the figure is all ready to go now. Clean it up, fine tune it, and we can do the base. So the one, I think it was the hot dog stand that I wanted to pick up. I bought it, but it wasn't an actually object file. So I think I have to find a different one. But we'll have flash here, and then the hot dog stand here. So I gotta kind of, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna ballpark these two first, and then I'll work out the street and the grass and all that stuff. I was thinking of doing a bench too, but I need to see how it would work out. But yeah, I think I don't think there's anything else to do to her other than clean this up. Oh, I gotta do the earrings, that's right. That's right, I gotta do the earrings next. I'll get that set up too for final stream. These things here. See if we can get these on there. I don't know if I should actually try to do it and then paint over it or just glue it in at the end. I think I'm gonna have to set something up with a metal rod. So I'm gonna drill into her ear this week, and then I'm gonna get a nail. Actually, let me go get one of the nails now. Okay, so I think one fell over here. Alright. Alright, so here is this piece, and then here's a nail. So I think this would look pretty cool. So what I'm thinking I'm doing is we have a nail, right, that goes through, and it looks like that. So what I'm thinking is I'll drill a hole through here, I'll cut the nail, so at the end I could just sort of put a dab of glue on there and we can put the earpiece like that. It'll just go right on there. Maybe what I'll do is I'll put a dab of glue on there and we'll glue the nail to it first. And then maybe what I could do is any of the gold that I paint here, I can kind of paint on this too. You know, I'll score it a little bit. I'll hit it with the adhesion promoter, and we'll paint some of the Alclad pale gold onto this as well, so everything will be uniformed. So yeah, I'm gonna have to drill a little bit of a hole up there to really get it through. So this way, by having a nail going through deep into the skull, not too deep, like I said, I'll cut it, it'll hold it pretty well. Because if you just try to put like a dab of glue or A's right here, one wrong move, it'll pop right off. So a nice little nail will look pretty cool. So we'll get something like that situated for next week. So we have the earring set. We have the bracer set, we have the belt, we have everything set except the base. So I'm going to clean up the base a little bit too. I'll sand this down, get this cleaned up. And then once we start getting these elements of Flash and the hot dog stand, we'll get that on there and we can start painting her up. So she is moving good. Now, for Wonder Woman. Alright, so for her, I'm thinking we'll just do a Themyscira type base. Kind of like she's at the sand or the beach. The only other thing I could think of is to make it look like she's on a street corner. So, depending on the base, if I can get her foot down there at the bottom and she's kind of stepping up a little bit, yeah, because it's so high, it would look cool if she was like at a street corner. You know, we just do like a curb, you know, like, where's my marker? You know, just something simple, like it's a street corner, over here is a little grate, you know, and then this is like the street, this is like the walkway type thing, like she's in the middle of a city. Something simple, but because her foot is so high, I don't think it's gonna work. I was thinking go more with Themyscira. You know, maybe do like the beach scene and have like a pillar type thing with Themyscira. Or we could just do you know, like basically a cosmic rock thing. Like I said, I don't want to go too crazy on the base with her. I would rather make a simple base and really focus on the paint for her. So I don't want to go too crazy with this. So I'm either thinking a simple street corner, put some rocks here like she's stepping on some rocks, or the sidewalk is kind of broken up. You know, maybe I could do that. And then this is kind of like the bottom part of the street. What do you guys think of that? Simple. But then again, is, well, Black Lantern, I mean, the picture, she's kind of like in the city, right? Like, I'm thinking, if her foot is down here, right? Yeah, and we make the curb come up about 1/4 of an inch, and then the sidewalk is kind of like broken up behind her. You know? I don't know, maybe something like that. If not that, I don't know. You guys got any ideas? Something simple, but like I said, or just go with a simple couple rocks. Nothing crazy, make it look cosmic, and just paint it like, you know, rocks like in space or whatever, and then just focus on her. So I don't want to go crazy with 3D printing because I have to go through all the scaling and all that. Trying not to make it too nuts. So I'm trying to come up with something simple. I don't think I have anything here. Well, I do have skulls. Kind of stepping on some skulls. Just give her like a basic rock with skulls, dirt, grass type stuff. Simple, straight to the point. Not really focused too much. I have it, and then that's it. I mean, we could do that. Instead of actually stepping on the skull, I can have the skull sort of in front like this and have it like on dirt. I like that idea. This way I don't have to go crazy. Alright, what we'll do is we'll use these skulls. These are from that Lady Death statue that I haven't finished yet. Yeah, we can utilize this with some dirt and rocks and make it simple. Alright, I like that idea. So I think next week, what we can do is not only can we start planning out the belt, we can start getting her lined up on the base. Alright, so let's put her next to this. Okay, so basically we gotta follow the same type of look. So she would be like right there. Okay. So I'm gonna have to drill a hole over here. Right there. Hey raccoon, how you doing? Alright, so what we'll do is we'll plan this out next week. What we'll do is I'll have a hole drill here. And then what we'll do is I'll have a couple blocks of resin and eaves. And we'll start just slapping glue in there to try to get this lined up. And then from there, I did create the peg that's here. And I already did cut this piece to go on here like that. So we have a piece that slides into this peg. So what we'll do is we'll kind of try to get that in there from there. She's actually won't be able to go flat onto the base because it's going to have to go a little higher. That's fine. And the good thing is she's not going to have such a crazy base like this taking up all this room. So I got to cut this down a bit. I don't like the original base. And I already broke the flame like 3 times today. I want to go with a simpler base. So, what was it? Wells mentioned go with skulls. So we have some skulls. So I just want to go with this round base, some dirt and rocks with skulls on it, make it look dark and gloomy, and then that's it. This base, I'm really not a fan of it. I know what they were going for, like, you know, you're going down in Ares, like, you know, underground. It just doesn't fit Wonder Woman. It really, it does fit her, but it doesn't. I don't know. Not really a fan of it. So this is kind of a smaller base too, because I have one of these in my display case, and this base takes up so damn much room, you know. And plus it sits her up really high too, like really high. I think maybe we'll get her down a little bit lower too once, maybe about a ½ inch lower. If it was more of a stairs, like it was like Themyscira stairs, you know, like they were, you know, it was like kind of like a grass, and there's Themyscira with like a pillar down, I would like it probably better. But it's supposed to be going underground to Ares, but just the heads on the side of the base doesn't really feel, I'm not feeling it, you know. I don't know, just not my thing. So we'll have the skulls in front, like this, something like that, simple. And then what we'll do is we'll do like a little pile of dirt over here for this foot, and this foot will come down here, and it'll just look nasty and dirty. Yeah, I like the statue. The anatomy is amazing. The pose is pretty good. I just don't like the stairs. You know, if you're going, and the other thing too is if you're going down to Ares, like, you know, underground, these stairs would be way bigger. You know, I know you have to shrink it down for space, but they would be way bigger. But if it was more of like cleaner stairs going up the Themyscira, that would like look better. Even if it was like Themyscira where she's kind of like at the edge of the water, you know, like at the ocean, and you have a pillar like embedded in like the sand, that would kind of look cool. I don't know. Yeah, if I had to sand it down, I would say we can start doing it. But next week what I'll do is, I got a bunch of resin in my container, and what I'll do is I'll chop it up and I'll get some pieces. So we'll get glue and we'll start like gluing pieces here, and we'll start trying to create a basic setup for this foot, and then I can start use a Magic Sculpt and get it like so she goes in and out, and then from there sculpt around it. Trying to think. I don't think I have anything in my box of parts, but let's see. In there. I was thinking if I had some extra parts or something, I could throw like a Batman symbol or something there, but no, I don't have anything else, so we'll just go with the skulls. Hey, JC. So I think skulls it is, something simple. Skulls, a little bit of dirt and rocks, and we're done. And we'll focus more on her. I think that's the plan. Alright, so I just have to sand this down, get this cleaned up. And like I said, it's warped. One side's thicker than the other, but that's okay. We'll throw her low foot on this edge, and then the higher foot over here. Yeah, but looking around my parts, I don't have any DC stuff I could throw on there as well. Thought maybe if I had any extra stuff, which I don't. Alright. Yeah, I'm sorry about today. It's a short stream. I thought maybe I would have had more stuff to do, but I got to get into the garage and finish up for the night. But next week, we'll have her sanded down. Hopefully I'll get we'll get this hand situated to hold up the axe. We'll get the axe cleaned up a little bit more. We'll try to start working on the base. Maybe we could do a lot in one day if we get a lot going. Figure that out some more. Yeah, but Giganta pretty much ready for paint except for the base, so we'll get that stuff rolling. And then that's where we're at. So yeah, I'm sorry cutting it short, but that's the way it is today. Appreciate you guys coming out. Raz, if I come up with something, I'll let you know. If not, we're just gonna go with the skulls. I think that's all I got for now. But maybe when we get to work on her more, maybe something else will pop up. Yeah, I gotta call it a day. Short stream. But you guys have a good weekend. And you guys, Iceman, stay safe out there. Talk to you soon.